PWM and our training session for the Easy Technology today. We are about to explain a bit about the Easy Technology, how it's installed, how it's maintained, and how the POS connection is achieved, or how that can be done. In addition, we will explain a bit more about the hybrid technology, which is the new system for preventive maintenance. So that's the actual agenda for today. But before we start with the training, I would like to introduce the team here and say some words about the platform we are on today. So this is YouTube. This is a live stream. This live stream will remain online also for you to use at the later stage. The link we share with you will basically lead you to the video, and so that you can share that with your contractors on the ground at a later stage. Yeah, in addition, you have the opportunity, if you are logged in via YouTube or Google account, to enter your questions in the chat function or in the comment section below. So both is possible. We will try to answer all your questions at the end of the actual training. And if your question cannot be answered because it's requires some other details like drawings or so, please also enter your email address so that we can come back to you via separate email. So now that I'm in the middle of the actual training, I missed to introduce myself. So my name is Bastian Kaufmann. Some of you might know me. I started back in 2013 as sales representative or sales manager for Africa. Today I'm also responsible for Eastern Europe and the Middle East. And yeah, I'm happy to be here today because I come out of an isolation. I was in isolation the past 2 days with my 2 children back home. That was fantastic. I can tell you, to have a training on Tuesday with the little ones in the background is something you definitely do want to avoid. So I'm here today with my colleague Sven Andersen. He's the head of the technical department, and he will basically go through the actual technical training, and if I have to add some points, I will definitely try to assist here. So yeah, over to you, Sven.
Thank you, Bastian. Welcome from my side. Welcome to our online training. I'm Sven, the head of After Sales and Service at PWM. For the training today, I have a price sign with 4 lines. Easy Technology. The Easy Technology can operate it by remote control or by a control unit with a POS connection where you can send the prices automatically. But before we can operate the price sign, we must install some main components like the PCUs, the S package with the electronic parts, and the sensor package for controlling the complete price sign.
Maybe to jump in here, PCUs refers to price changing units. So if we have an acronym during the training, I will try to jump in and point that out to you. So obviously we use some short terms to discuss certain points here in our team, but sometimes it's better to explain. So it's about the price display itself, which comes, by the way, pre-mounted and pre-installed whenever we ship it.
So then we start with the PCU at my table. So you see the PCU with, for example, 4 digits and the point in the middle. If you want the point after the first digit or after the 3rd digit, you can install it like the precut. Here is the precut for the sensor and the fixing point for install it in the totem. At the background, on the back side from the PCU, we have the digits with the cables, with the flat cables, a flat cable to connection the complete PCU at the S package. We have the line controller where the digits are fixed installed, and the point from the middle is installed also at the line controller. So we have a working LED with 12 voltage at the line controller, and all the lines are fixed to install at the complete PCU. The main thing for the service at the PCU is the label or the sticker. At the sticker there are all informations about the order or the digits, what digits you have, the size of the digits, the color of the LEDs and anything else. So if you have any questions over the PCU or the line controller, we need a picture from the sticker or the label, and we can give you all informations you need. Anything else over the PCUs, Bastian?
Not really from my side. Yeah, the price changing units come pre-installed as mentioned earlier. We deliver most of the time 4-digit price panels. That's basically what is the major product we our best-selling product, but in general you can have it from 1 digit up to 6 digits, so we can supply you with everything. We have, for instance, installations in Malawi with 6 digits and in Saudi Arabia with 3 digits. That's also very easy for our system to cope with these different executions.
So then I show you the sensor pack, the S package, the electronic. So you have the S package with a controller board with a cover. I remove the cover. So under the cover there is a sign controller, a connection block for the power supply, and we have a relay to control backlight and your logo light, anything else. So, but it's the first time I will show you a little bit over the connection from the power supply. The power supplies are IP67, they are sealed. The cooling from the power supplies goes over the cover. So, and we have at the power supplies a 230 voltage connection and the lower voltage connection, who you connected at the connection terminal, the red and the blue. So if you have connection it, install the power supply in the totem at the metal, because we need the metal, the installation at the metal, because we need the cooling over the housing from the power supply.
So this works basically as a heat sink, right? So installation to the steel frame so that this the heat can dissipate from the power supply towards the steel frame, and that takes away then the heat. This device will shut off if a certain temperature is reached. So for this reason it's definitely better to install it to the steel frame where the heat can dissipate easier. So yeah, back to Sven.
So the main point is the sign controller. You have the terminals for each lines. We have a sign controller with 4 lines double-sided. If you have a price sign with 4 lines one-sided, you need only the connection terminals at the top. We have the connection terminals for the sensor. We have the point to install the SRS for connections, the control unit. And we have a dip switch on it to change some configurations. And we have the terminals for the fans and the terminal for the backlights. But first I will start with installation the sensor at the. So I show you the sensor package. So when you become a sensor package, you have a metal bracket, you have the flat cables, you have a PET bracket, and you have a sensor and some skiffies to fix the sensor at the metal bracket and the complete sensor package at the PCU. So I talk about the sensor. So the sensor have on board a temperature sensor. We have a air sensor at the red window for connection to the remote control, and we have a light sensor to control the brightness of the LEDs from the digits. So at the back side we have only the connections for the cable, for the flat cable. So, and when you install the flat cables, you need a metal clamp to fix it. So when you have vibrations at the ground, it can be rubble and make not a good connections. But I will start with the installation videos for the sensor package. So you see, you open the precut at first, and then you install the sensor in the metal bracket, fix it with one skiffy. Then you put the metal bracket with the sensor in the PET bracket, go behind the PCU, and from the front of the PCU you fix the complete sensor with the PET bracket over the two skiffies over the top. So the most important things over the sensor is the red window must be over the top. When you put the red window not over the top, you have bad connections to the remote control. Then I talk to connecting the flat cables. The flat cables came like this. So you open and roll out the complete flat cables in the totem. So if you don't make this, you have measure failures and the sensor work not so good. So after that I will go back to the S package and go back to the table and talk about the sign controller, the dip switch, and after that some functions over the relay and the fan connections. So come back to the table. So I talk over the dip switch. I put the cables like here. So the dip switch have 6 dip switch on it, and over the first dip switch we can make a test mode. I explain you later. Over the dip switch 2 and 3 we can set if the PCU connected at the terminals have 3, 4, 5 or 6 digits in one line. If you have a connection over the SRS to the control unit, you don't need to set up the dip switch because the setup comes from the control unit. If you have only one price sign at the gas station, you don't need the dip switch 5 and 6 because the dip switch 5 and 6 is for addressing the price sign. If you have 2 or 3 or 4 price sign at one gas stations, you make a addressing code over the dip switch 5 and 6 for the 2, for the 3 and for the 4 price sign. Because in your area I think it's only one price sign at the gas station.
But it's good to know that there's an opportunity for you to do basically or to connect more than one totem to the same control unit. I think, Sven, if I'm not mistaken, up to 8 totems can be connected to the control unit. If I'm not mistaken, that's the case. Oh, 4. You said 4. So 4 totems can be connected to one control unit. So you can have 4 totems on your actual forecourt, which from a sales perspective is always the best to have 4 totems on a forecourt. But yeah, in general, we talk about 2 totems maximum. But yeah, it's an option to add more totems and connect them to the same control unit. Back to Sven.
So, I will show you some facts over the LEDs on the board from the sign controller. So the first over the top is a red LED. So it's not red because it's no power on the sign controller. The red LED is the power LED. Is the power LED off, you have no power at the terminals here, and the sign controller cannot work. The LED in the middle is running or sending LED. When you send a price over the control unit, when the price came at the sign controller, it's flashing in yellow. So, and the LED, the last LED is a green LED. It's the watchdog. It's permanent running in a rhythmus. So, and when the watchdog is not flashing or running, so the program after the sign controller is broken, and the sign controller cannot work. So, then I talk about the terminals at this side. They are for the relay. The first time for the backlight, they are installed at the relay. So, like in the overview from the relay, you see that the connections only bring from the 230 voltage to the terminal 11, and from the terminal 14 you go back to your backlight or to the power supply from the backlight. And then automatically when the sensor said okay, it's not, the sun is not shining, the backlight can start it automatically.
So yeah, this backlight function is a good sales advantage again, because you don't need to have a separate day and night switch for the totem. Our system can basically control the whole system, and not only our own system, because we adapt to the ambient brightness in 256 steps, so very accurate to the actual ambient brightness. But in addition, the benefit is that we can control the rest of the illumination. So whenever it comes to dusk and dawn, it will switch on and off the actual backlight of the totem. So yeah, this is what I wanted to add here.
Back to me, please. So the other two connection blocks are for two fans. So like you can see it in the overview, we have installed two fans at these connections. You only can install 12 voltage fans, not more, no, because when you need a 230 voltage fan, you must put a relay between the fan and the sign controller. That's the same like the backlight relay. And that's all the functions over the relay and the sign controller. The last one I talk to you is the test mode. The test mode you can control this installation correctly. So I spoke, the dip switch 1 is for the test mode. First time when you need or you will start the test mode, switch off the power of the totem.
Maybe to explain why you need the test mode or where you can install it, continue. So we switch on off the totem here, or the installation here, switch the dip switch on, and then we will power it up again. But for your understanding why you need that test mode. The test mode you can basically run after you have installed all the equipment in your totem to test the functionality of the installation, and if and also to test if the panels are installed in the right way. So starting with first line, second, third, fourth line. So this also gives you the opportunity to check if everything is done the right way, and if both sides also display the same thing correctly. So first you switch off the power, then after that you put the dip switch 1 off, and we will to power
to the totem. Then you see that the test mode is starting. So you see
Extremely bright, by the way.
the first line, the second line, the third line, the fourth line, and you see is the digit at the right position 1, 2, 3, 4.
So if you have a failure here, it will definitely switch from, so if
Right.
digit 4 is installed in the third place, you will definitely see that.
So then the brightness go down, switch off, and the relay start with shining at the backlight if you have installed a relay with the backlight connection. And
So this is
also
what we referred to in the beginning when we talked about backlight connection. Right?
after that you see the brightness of the sensor and the temperature of the sensor. When I go to the sensor, make it dark, you see that the brightness is springing. So go back, the brightness go up.
So and there we have a delay. So when the car approaches the gas station and has the lights on, so that it does not react directly to the approaching car, but with a delay of a few seconds. If the sensor still reacts to the shining car or to the lights of the car, then it will definitely dim down or start to power it up more so that the brightness of the LED is higher. So yeah.
So the last step at the test mode is switch all LEDs at the totem on. You see all digits are showing an 8 and the points are shining with all the LEDs on the board. So the test mode is finished. After that you react the power, switch the dip switch 1 to the off position and revolt the power, and the price sign is back in the working mode, and you can start with connecting like an EMD or a control unit and change prices and anything else.
Maybe for your understanding, because we had the question yesterday, when you have a power shortage or when the power went off on your at your gas station, and this question was basically regarding the illumination and the pricing. Is the pricing stored and will it come again online, or once the totem has power again, will it display the same prices like prior to the actual power outage? So yeah, that's what we have installed in our system. We have a memory here. This memory flash still stores the prices, and once the power comes back, it will automatically switch on and show the same pricing you had on the totem before. So
we have a little overview for you. So you can see perhaps you can operate the price sign like via the remote control, or you can operate it like a control unit of two ways. One way is the data cable, and the second way is RF set and the radio modems. You can control it like a distance from 150 meters.
But we have also an option to upgrade the radio frequency set to even longer distances, to up to 1 kilometer. That's possible. But yeah, for your understanding, our general distance on a general product covers a distance of 150 meters. If there's nothing in between, right? If there's a truck in between, that could have an impact on the actual signal, which is transferred via radio frequency. Yeah.
So, but I start with controlling the price sign over the remote control. At the remote control, we have a maximum distance from 10 meters to the sensor, and we deliver the remote control without batteries, because it's a point from the...
It's a legal thing,
yes.
On one hand, and on the other side, your freight forwarder will definitely know that it's not allowed to send batteries via air freight. and that's why most of our deliveries nowadays are via air freight. That's why we refuse to do that. And in addition, coming back to the 10-meter distance which can be covered by the remote handheld, that's why we recommend to install the sensor in the lowest part of, in the lowest panel, so that the distance from ground to the actual installed price panel is not that far, and that price setting is even possible then. And that's also why we refer to installing the sensor in the right way, because if it's not installed in the right way, we have the receiving sensor installed inside this sensor for the infrared remote control in an angle pointing towards the ground. And if you install it upside down, it will face the sky, and then price setting is definitely a bit of a challenge. We have seen a couple of installations where we had this problem, where you had to use scaffolding to go up and change the pricing, and nobody noticed that the sensor was installed upside down. So yeah, for your understanding, please make sure that this is installed the right way if you use the remote handle.
Or you have a helicopter and you can go up with the helicopter and change the prices.
An alternative, but price-wise, maybe the other options.
But if you first, the battery is inside, so you can start over the buttons. You start the control, the price sign over the button sign, and you see the red light at the sensor is flashing, and the last digit in the first line is flashing too. So then you can give a price over the number buttons. You start back to front. So when I go 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 1, you see we start behind and go to the front. So if you want in the next line, you go with the arrow button down, you're at the next line, at the next line. Or you want only change one digit, you go to this digit and say, okay, it must be showing a 5, you go over the plus button and send a 5, or you go over the button 8 for a 8. So what do you want?
Easy. I think that's self-explaining. The remote handheld, like you have it at your telly back home. Maybe a short sentence about the sensor. As long as it's blinking, as long as the digit is blinking, as long as the sensor is blinking red, you're still in the price setting mode. You can only leave that by pressing the escape button. This is what I had to add here.
Yes, press escape and you see the flashing stopped and the price is fixed. So the other position is the control unit with data radio modems to connecting to the price sign. I will show you some facts over the control unit. Go back with me to the table. We have the control unit and we have a SRS connection package with an interface, the SRS 01, some screws to fixing at the sign controller, and a little cable for connecting the boxes when you came with your data cable. If you need a radio modem, you have another interface with 2 modules. If you have any questions, I can send you a little documentation or a video so you can install the radio modules. So when you have installed the SRS at the sign controller, you have the data cable in the shop and you need some power in the shop. So the control unit have 2 sides, the side with the power supplies and the side with the display and the control board. So first you install the 200 voltage power cable at the interface from the power supplies. When you have installed the cable, you have a protection cover. So you install the protection cover with the 2 screws and everything is fine. Nobody can touch over the 200 voltage. So the other part is I hope you can see the interface. So here is the terminal to connection the data cable from the price sign. So you can see there's the numbers 1, 2, 3, and the same numbers you can find at the SRS01, the 1, 2, 3. So if you have a cable, for example, gray at 1, you must put the gray cable at 1 at the SRS02. A 1-to-1 connection. So then you have connection the price sign to the control unit. If you have a PCU in the background for automatically price changing, you install another interface.
You mean
at
the
this
POS,
side.
right? The POS or forecourt controller?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Because you said PCU, which
Oh, sorry.
so
The POS.
so POS, like
Yeah.
Wayne, DOMS, or whatever you have in place. Yeah.
So, but the installation of the POS interface, I talk later. I have a POS interface and show you how to install it and how are the functions over the POS. After that, when you have to connect the cable, you go back to the display. So the display is a display without light, yes, without light, and you have 4 buttons: escape, the arrows, and the enter button. So then I show you to install a config code. The config code, I go back to the totem. Back to the totem. The config code is for setting the complete configurations over your price sign. After that, I show you a little video how to set the configurations code and which position is for the totem. Because the config code has 14 positions and each position has a connection like lines, double-sided, one-sided. But the best way, we start with the video and you see.
Maybe just one more point, just to give you an overview where we are at the moment. So POS connection is for some of the markets we do this training for today key. So we can connect to more than 40 protocols. In addition, we need to know which POS system you have installed, or forecourt controller, main fusion, DOMS, whatever you have in place. There are several others, and we have then the protocol we run with. But in order to source you with the right interface, we need to know that prior to you placing the order with us, and then we source you with the right configuration code, which Sven referred to earlier, to basically configure our system that it reads out the right pricing and puts it in the right position of the totem. So these are some key facts, because what we receive now from the POS system, for instance, is price diesel, petrol, and at the end kerosene or whatever, and we have now the products sorted in a different way. So our control unit have to link the pricing, and that can be done via the configuration code first. And in addition, yeah, what we said, this is for automatic price setting. Yeah, very important to mention. So then we start with the configuration code. So you see, you came over the button enter in the main menu. Go to the configuration, press enter, and then you are in the configurations code, and then after that you can set 1 point to 1 point. The first digit in the configurations code is for the language in the control unit. The second is for which system, if you have a LED system. The third digit is for numbers of price sign. We talk 1 to 4 price sign at one gas station. The next digit is for the communication, data cable or radio modem.
After that, you have the leader symbol if you want a blank leader or a 0. After that, we have the sending tube, immediately or delayedly. Then you have set the numbers in the line in the code. After that, you set to the code is it double-sided or one-sided. And the next point is brightness, like the automatically. And we have the parameters if you have a product description at the next point. And the last two digits are for the POS connections. So if you want to have the code at your control unit, please ask the sales or the service, we configure you a code, send you the complete code, and you put the code into the control unit.
Yeah, I think that's also key here. We like to help you to have a very easy and smooth installation of the equipment. So when you let us know the way the system is configured, we then source you with the right configuration code. Yeah, that's key. So, and by the way, whatever Sven explains here right now is also part of the installation manual we deliver with every control unit or every installation. So you can definitely read that again, because it's a lot of information, we know that, but it's good to have that now mentioned, and you can definitely find the information then in the later stage in the installation.
So we can make an online training only with the control unit over 1 hour, because there are so much menus at the control unit. I like the documentation, like 16 pages or anything else. You can do everything with the control unit. But the main facts we have today in the training, the main facts of the control unit, you can change prices over the control unit without a POS system. When the POS system is broken or anything else, you can change the prices at the totem again. So
manual price setting is always possible, as well as automatic, but as long as there's a connection to the POS system and that is working fine, it will override the prices set by the manually via the control unit. So if you have a dealer who likes to play around with the pricing, this is definitely not possible if there's a connection in between the POS and the control unit. It will override the prices in that.
Correctly. So, but I show you to change the prices manual. So look at the little video. We go to the main menu, press enter. To change prices, go to the first line, and then you give a price like 1, 2, 3, 4 at over the buttons, and press after the 4-digit enter, and the price is sending out, and you see immediately the price is changing to 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all for the price changing. If you want the second line, the third line, you go back to the menu and reach out the line you want to change. But we have some calls. We cannot change the prices per control unit. So you must control is the data cable or the radio modem connection correct. I talk you one-to-one connection. So if you change one of the cables from like 1 to 3, you have no connections. You can check it over the control unit with the link test. I show you. You go to the video and you can see, go in the main menu, go back to the service, press enter. Then we have the specific service, press enter again. Then you go down to the link test and start with enter the link test. Then you see at the left side the numbers are running up. So at the right positions they are for zeros. So that is showing you a 100% connection to the price sign. So we set at the connection, you need 75% connection to the price sign. If you have not 75%, you can not change the prices, or the price change like 5 minutes or anything else. It's slowly. So I show you a link test. It's with a failure. So you press enter at the link test, and you see that the left and the right numbers are running up the same. So that is a link test with no % connection. So if you have at example, you have at the left you have 100, and you have at the right 20, you have bad connections for the connection at the price sign.
So that could be a problem of the radio frequency
Yes.
signal, for instance. So you can
the
test
most
both
from the radio
data
signal.
cable as well as radio frequency. Radio frequency, we send basically packages and try to receive them. If we don't get any result, then the numbers are approximately on the same page. And if it works fine, then you have on one side, then the numbers on the other side, there's no changes, right? This will help you to
slow
test.
changes.
Yeah, for instance. This will help you to test if the cabling is correct. If there's no communication, for instance, the cabling could be wrong, and if the numbers are slightly not on the same level but slightly in the same direction, that could be linked to radio frequency signal, for instance, which isn't suitable, where you have to adjust the sending unit or the receiving unit. Yeah, that could be a reason for that, right?
Yes. And if you have good connection to the totem or the price sign, you can testing the POS, changing over the POS system in the shop or at the concern when you send the prices automatically from the headquarter. So the facts over the POS, Bastian told you before we start with the control unit. I go back to the table and show you the one of our POS interfaces. We have the POS interface. It's 422 or interface with EEPROM, with the connection box to our POS system, and we have some LEDs on board to set it is running or it's the interface is working. And the LEDs in the middle are for the same like at the sign controller. In the middle the LED is a yellow LED. When the price is sending, they are flashing. So that is only when the prices came from the POS system to the control unit, these LEDs in the middle are flashing. So I talk to you. The position for the POS interface is at this side. So you go to the terminals, set it on the plug-in, press it and fix the interface with 2 screws. They are inside the delivery, and connection your data cable to the POS system. And
this
then
could be or most of the time RS485, right?
yes. And after that you have the connections over the POS, and you can send the prices from the headquarter to the gas stations and check if the prices from the headquarter is at the totem.
So I think it's pretty easy. If we deliver the config code, it's definitely easier if compared to the way where you enter every setting and every configuration on your own. This will definitely take some more time and some intensive study of the documentation. So we highly recommend to, whenever you have a situation like that, involve us. Let us know what installation you try to do or what you like to do, so that we can then supply you or provide you with the right configuration code and help you with that. But, yeah.
So if all installations are done, please you have sending with the documentation and installation report. Please fill it out and send it as with some pictures, and you have fill in, send some pictures from the installation of the complete PCU or a little video from the test mode, and I talk at the PCUs over the sticker or the labels from the PCUs. Please send the pictures with the installation report. Then we see, okay, this is this order number and the warranty time is running.
Yeah, so maybe you could quickly switch back to the actual form. So it's not much to fill in, it's just ticking, I have that, I have done that, I have done that, or I have my installation is without the control unit or is with. I have a picture of this part and that part, and that is also helpful for you guys at a later stage to prove to the oil concern that you have carried out the installation like you intended to do and like you are trained to do. So that is definitely helpful. If you send back the installation report to our team here, we will check on our side, go through the points and the pictures, and whenever we have a failure here or we find something which is crucial, we will definitely point that out to you. It's not that we just store it, we actually also test it and give you feedback on the actual product. But yeah, this is what this installation report refers to, basically.
So you see another report in the picture, that is the warranty report. The warranty report is when you have a failure at the installation after 1-2 years or anything else, another term. You must fill in the same, the order number or the points at the warranty report, and make also pictures from the errors at the price sign, or when you have you cannot have a picture, make a little video, send the video or anything else. And the same, make a picture from the stickers in the back from the PCU or the totem.
Yeah, the important part here is the picture. We have a saying in Germany, picture speaks more than thousands of words. So definitely that is more helpful than a technician who has never actually worked with our system before, calling us and asking us about the failure he experienced. So that can have multiple reasons why that failure occurred. But with a picture or with a video or live chat function or live voice and video over IP signal, WhatsApp or whatever, we are more likely to help you, or that definitely has a bigger chance to help us to help you. So therefore, just give us a call whenever you're on site and you have Wi-Fi signal. I know it makes no sense to give us a call from, let's say, Zimbabwe, just to use your private phone, but obviously if you have Wi-Fi on site, just give us a call, show us the video you have taken, and then we can help you immediately. That's definitely more beneficial, because you don't have to go to site 3, 4, 5 times. It's just that we can help you right away.
So the main failures of the price sign or of the LED Easy technology is a digit is whereas a segment broken or some LEDs or anything else. If you have this failure, for example, the first digit is not showing a price or a number, please check at the first time with another digit at the line controller.
Maybe one quick sentence here. The system is modular, so you can change every device by the other device. So you can switch the cabling from one digit to the other. It will have no impact on the actual installation. That's the benefit here. And for testing, that's also beneficial. And if we talk about failures in general, maybe we should put that in comparison to something. Our general claim rate is less than 1%. So this is relatively low, I would say, even with installations we carried out 15 years ago in the Philippines. We have no real issues with that. Maybe after 10 years you have a digit where a segment is damaged or so, but this can be replaced very easy. You don't have to replace the whole price panel, you just replace one digit and you can continue with the installation as it is. So also spare costs and maintenance costs are relatively low.
So if you have the same with a complete line, you can change the flat cables at the sign controller. For example, the first line is not shining a price or showing a price. You change the flat cables from the second line to the first line at the sign controller and look, is the line controller at the line damaged, or is the connection terminal at the sign controller damaged? So we have changed from the power supplies from power supplies with fans to the sealed power supplies at the year 2018.
Yeah, that's correct. 2018.
So, and for the term from 2018 for today, we have in all installations only 2 failures at the power supplies. So that is a good rate, I think, and so it is the most important. We change the power supplies from the power supplies with fans to the sealed, and the system is more reliable. Yes, and so another failure.
Yes, one point here. So also from a sales perspective in this regard again, but yeah, it is possible to change from the fan-cooled power supplies to retrofit an installation with fan-cooled power supplies to the completely sealed IP67 rated power supplies we use today. Therefore, we have retrofit sets. So whenever you have a problem with the fan-cooled power supplies, we recommend to switch to the new power supplies because they will definitely extend the lifetime of the whole installation by a couple of years. Not saying 10 years, but definitely a longer distance. It will definitely run for a longer time. Because what we experience, especially in dusty and salty air environments, we had a lot of situations where the fan got blocked because it wasn't maintained that properly. Only when price sign switched off, someone went out and checked the power supply, and then they figured out, oh, the fan was blocked because we haven't cleaned it in a while. So that then led to overheating of the whole system and destroyed the power supply in the end. And with the new power supplies, you don't have a fan, so nothing can get blocked, and this is definitely bad.
So, and we have as a remote control, we have always some failures. First, the remote control is gone in the shop. Nobody has it. You cannot change the prices, or the batteries are empty. So check the batteries first when you have the remote control, and then you can change the prices again. That's the most failure that's we have in the last 10 years. So and, so it's not a failure. It's the batteries are after time empty, and you must change it like a television remote control.
Basically, if we talk about the POS setup with the controller and the interface, radio frequency or data cable. With a data cable, you definitely have, from time to time, construction work going on your site. So if someone is digging in your fork, close to your forecourt or in the area of the price sign, that definitely could harm the data cable. So if there's no connection anymore and you had some digging going on there, so that could be the issue here. And with the radio frequency signal, we had some issues, like a truck was parked in between the totem and the shop, so that the signal could not or the data could not be sent from sending unit to receiving unit. That is sometimes an issue if you change the construction of the shop, or you.
That's the most. When you change the architecture at the gas stations, you must look, is the radio model now in the right position for sending prices to the price sign, or in German we have some trees at the gas stations, and when they go big, so they stand between the radio modules, and you can rate the signal.
Yeah, in general, once the system is up and running, keeps on running. So that's the positive information for you. Whenever you have problems with the installation in the first place and we can solve it, definitely it will continue that way for the next few years. Or you have some vandalism or a tree growing or so, but in general you can say once it's up and running, it continues that way.
So that is over the easy technology. The easy technology can be upgrade over the hybrid. The hybrid is only the digits and the controllers, the S package, the sensor, it's the same like easy and hybrid, but the control unit changed to a control gate. I show you at the back this price sign and control gate, and Bastian taught some facts over the hybrid. You need to recommend a permanent network connection at the control gate, because
maybe to jump in here just to explain quickly what's the hybrid system. So the hybrid system is a system which allows you preventive maintenance. So it reads out the data of the actual price sign on site and transfers these data via the internet to a secure platform where you can see all the totems you have in your network. So this allows all concerns to get an information about the price cycle. So once I send the prices from the headquarters, did they actually apply also on all pumps, and did they finally also, or did we finally receive them also on the price sign? So this information can be basically read out from their platform. In addition, the hybrid technology also can give you detailed failure information about the price line, about the sensor. Is that working fine? What's the temperature inside the totem? Is that crucial? And a lot of more information you can read out from this system. But furthermore, it allows you to switch from one protocol to the other without changing the hardware. With the control unit, we had this POS interface we talked about earlier, which is a hardware system, hardware-based. So whenever you change the protocol, you have most of the times have to change also the interface. And where we talk about the control gate or the hybrid system, where the control gate is a part of the hybrid system, where this is software-based and you basically just change the cabling. And that works fine. We, on our side, then have to program the control gate from the headquarters, from our headquarters. But in general, it's much easier, much smoother. We don't have to ship equipment around the world, and price-wise, this is definitely an advantage. But yeah, over to you, Sven. Sorry for.
So another advantage is when you have, I talk about the manual price change over the control unit. You must be at the gas station to change the prices manually. When you have hybrid system, you see the price change it. Yes, we have the hybrid system on. You can change the prices from your headquarter menu. So when you have a POS system is broken, nobody at the gas stations can change the prices if you want. So it's controlling and
still via the platform you can change the pricing. If there's no POS connection, obviously POS connection for price setting is very safe because there you have also some security functions. But in the end, the control gate or hybrid system also allows you to have access. Once you have access to the platform, it allows you to connect to every totem on the ground, on the forecourt, and change the prices then from the platform.
So I go to my computers and show you the web overview from the control gate, from the hybrid system, and show you some facts, what can you do at the software, and we change manual over the computers the prices. So that is what we do at the next time in the trainings video. So
maybe just to inform you, this is now a control gate hybrid system, which allows you to see basically what we do on the platform, and that will reflect here on the pricing. But over to Sven, who will show you the details now on his computer.
So you see we have a login fenster, and you log in with your admin, and so you see the overview from the control gate. The control gate have an overview with the 4 lines and the prices, and we have the system information from the price sign and the control gate. So I talked to you, we have each line as an overview. You see we have each line with the prices. You can see the address from the prices, what is the type, is it the digit or anything else. You have some information from your price sign, what is the temperature, what is the brightness from the sensor, and how many counts you have at communications, and you have also addressing from the parts inside. You have the same at the control gate. You have like more informations. You see we have some services at the control gate. You can see if it's running, and if it's the POS system is running, and we have uptime, the total uptime, and the currently time, and you have the network addressing and anything else at the control unit. So if you have warnings or errors, the digits, if you have a failure at the LEDs, you have an error, and like the 0 is not green, it's red shining. And I talked to you, you can change if you have 4, 3, or you add a new one, or you delete a line. You have the settings from the configuration code. You have always at overview, and can say, okay, I have 3 lines, or I have no point, the point is off, we have data cable or not. We have the sender in the front, or we have a brightness to auto, and anything else you can say at this point in the configurations. The point from Bastian is the CPE. We can change the
which refers CPE refers to interface, by the way, just from your understanding, because it's also accurate.
So you can change like you want. If you want like have Gilbaco, you can change to Gilbaco, or you change to PWM in-house, you can change to this protocol. So in this time you see what is the brightness at the price sign, And the next one is how is the connection to the cloud. You can send it in a cloud, and if you have like 15 stations at the hybrid system, you have all the informations in one overview at the cloud, and if the prices are correctly, or is the price sign running well. So then you can say, when I go back to the set off to the POS interface, then it's saved, and then I can go to change the prices. So I change the prices like 888. Yes, and do it for all lines. Set and send it to the price sign, and you see that the prices are changing in all lines to 8. So it's only a few seconds and the prices change, like over the network, that when you are based in like in what you are based?
Currently I'm based here. I'm in Bergneustadt, Germany,
So
standing right next to this price sign. But we have installations, for instance, in Morocco, where this is the actual setup, and which are where the pricing also reflects directly when we do the price changes here. It reflects directly in the test installations in Morocco. We have tested it, working fine without any problems. So yeah, this is about the hybrid system. It offers you a lot of opportunities. Yeah, definitely. This is the next level, we would say, and if you want to go even more advanced and more high, let's say state-of-the-art technology, then we talk about track. But if you like to upgrade an existing control unit installation to hybrid, or easy installation with the control unit to a hybrid system, that's always possible. It's easy to upgrade, as mentioned earlier. It's no high math, we would say here, and we would be happy to help you with that. Yeah. In general, I think that's it from our side.
Yes.
Training was, I hope, interesting to you guys. Definitely was good to have you online and to see and to share this information with you. As mentioned earlier, if you have further questions, if you like to give us input or feedback, please use the chat function or the comment section below. Please subscribe to this channel. This is always good to do, at least for us. and you are updated about any kind of video we put on YouTube. This is also important for you, I think. Yeah, and we will continue with this program and do more videos like that. And if you like to share this link, the link I shared with you prior to this training, please feel free. Please send this out to all your contractors on ground, to all your signage companies, so that these guys know what to do and who to contact. Then it's whenever they have a service issue, please contact Sven and his team. And if you have another project coming up and like us to quote, then please contact me. I'm always happy to help. Yeah, thanks for your attention so far. I'm not sure if we have any questions here.
can you check it?
Yeah, we'll
So
quickly check.
if you have an idea for online training, like you want, say, to change the power supplies with the retrofits, and if you want to have a video or online training, send your ID to Bastian or anything else in the sales department or to the service department, and we look if we have the next time for a new online training, and we can change change the
Setup?
setup or the plan
Yeah, if you have any questions or if you have any urgent questions, then fire away. We checked the comment section so far, no comments, no questions. So I think we are good to go, which is good. And if there's something coming up afterwards and you have questions you like to raise, please contact me on my email address, or Sven. You have my contact details. They are also mentioned on the last page, which is about to come on. But yeah, again, if you have any kind of question, feel free to contact us. Yeah, it remains to me to say thank you for your attention. Please stay healthy. Please stay tuned. Please let us know if we can do anything for you, and hope to see you next time here or elsewhere in the world. I'm keen to travel once this pandemic is over.
I also.
Yeah. So, but for the moment, this is the best to help you to keep social distancing and to help you to have best service. So this is what we do. Yeah, please feel free to contact us. We are here to help.
Okay, from my side, stay healthy, goodbye, or have a good day at your time, and see you next time.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.